So we are covering the first cotton bunk today. We filled 2 bunks. This bunk goes back to about where you see that cover on the top. And then we've got another bunk that runs in behind it. So these first 2 bunks were the first bunks that we built on this side of the road. And we built them 80 foot by 120 feet deep. So they're 80 wide, 120 feet deep with 12-foot walls. So then we put a bunk quite a few years later along the back side, kind of using the back wall. We put another bunk on this back side and it goes all the way around to bunk 3, so it's in somewhat of an L. And we filled this one back to bunk 3 and done bunk 2 as well. This was the only empty bunk that we had to put hay into. And then we put some heifer hay in a corn silage bunk. So we're due to get some rain here this afternoon, and we're hoping to get this covered before it gets raining. So this is probably, I would have to say it's 6 foot. Well, it's probably more than that. It's probably more like 8 foot over the sides here anyways, up on the very top there. So we'll get the drone up here a little later on to kind of show you what things look like after we get everything covered. But we got, oh, who do we have covering? We've got Sarge, Tim, Geronimo, Jason, Jacob, Davey, Alex, Sarah, Teddy, my nephew Teddy, Davey's my other nephew, brother Richard, did I say Alex and Sarah, Jared, I think I might be forgetting somebody now because I'm not looking, Sarge, so, and Nate. There's quite a few of us covering, so it's gonna go rather quickly here. The wind has been blowing a little bit, so that's made it a little challenging at times, but that'll give you an idea what it looks like from one bunk to the other. So we ended up going right up over the top of the walls there, and yeah, actually we had an empty bunk that we put corn silage into, but we need to save that for corn silage. So this bunk comes right around, that we just come off of, it comes right around to this one here. So there's a little wedge of haylage that we've got to get out of here yet. So yes, we are using whole tires. We don't quite have enough cut tires yet to cover everything, and the thought is to use the cut tires, which there's piles of them down below. Use the cut tires on the bunks down below, and we'll kind of keep everything separated that way. So once we get this bunk covered, me and Nate are going to open that cement silo. We have high moisture corn in it, and we didn't want to be screwing around with that silo during the winter. There's only about 3 months worth of feed in it, and we didn't want to be screwing around with it while we were trying to plant corn and chop first cutting hay. So we decided to wait to open it until after we had first cutting done. So today is the day we're going to do that. So we'll keep after it here, get the bunk covered, and get on to the next job. Got to dodge all of the tires that have fallen out of the bucket, off the bucket. Got our guy putting sand in. So yeah, we'll have to get the drone up on top of that to see how tall that actually is. That's got to be 8 foot. Oh, Sarah's waving. So yeah. All right, we better keep after it here. Well, we got the bunks all covered, and now me and Nate are going to pull the cover off of the silo, off of the corn that's in the silo. We're going to lower the unloader, and then we're going to start feeding high moisture corn out of it. So first thing we need to do, we probably should move this 4620. This mower goes on the front of a tractor, and it is broken, mucho broken right here. So we've got to fix this at some point. The last time we had this running was probably February, March. So we're gonna do a cold start in June. So just move it out back, out over by bunk 4 or something. I'll crawl up in there, you get the corn cleaned up out of the bay there, and I'll holler down when I'm ready. I'm gonna run up in the silo, start cutting the plastic and start sending it down. Nate's gonna... Oh, that's no fair. It's a bird's nest in there or something. So I'm gonna run up in the silo, cut the cover up in pieces, send it down, and he's gonna pull it out through the silo chute. And yeah. So yeah, we've got to do something with this guy here. We gotta see if we can get a guy to weld that up. It shouldn't be too awful bad. I think both, I don't know if both sides are broke or not, but the whole cutter head came out of it on my brother last year. Yeah, it's broke here. So we'll have to put another L bracket on there and get that secured. So yeah, let's go ahead and get climbed up this guy here. We've got to get some new duct tape on our spout here as well. So let's get up to the top. Well, we have made it up to the top. Looks like I've got a couple of birds in here that haven't exactly figured out how to fly yet. So this silo was full. It was within about a door and a half of the top, and it has settled about 4.5 doors. We're down 6 doors from the top. The boys leveled this off when we got it full last fall. Then they dug corn around the outside, spread the cover out. They had the cover all spread out, pulled the edges in, dug corn out around the outside, threw that on the cover, put the cover out to the outside of the silo. Then they kicked all the corn that they dug out from the edge to hold the cover down on the outer circumference of it. So what we're going to do now is we're going to obviously remove the cover, and we have to throw the cover down the chute. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it in quarters, and I'm just going to send that down the chute. And then Nate will come up. Nate's down on the ground, then Nate will lower this on silo loader, and then he's gonna come up in here and he's gonna help me put the blower pipe on it. And then what we can do is run some of the crap off of the top, load that onto a spreader, and then I'll run some corn to feed for tomorrow morning while I'm feeding cows. So we'll go ahead and get this cover removed and throw it down the silo. right, we've got it cut up into pieces. Now we just need to throw the pieces down one at a time, and Nate will grab them and pull them out of the chute. So I don't know what we got going on with these birds here, but that guy can't fly too good. So we'll push him right out the door maybe. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's a pigeon or a crow. Come on there, buddy. Come on. Come on. Come on. So, there, that guy's done. Now we'll go ahead and try to find the other one. Yeah. So, all right. All right, that's done. Okay, we've got the cover removed. I've got that thrown down the chute. We've got a lot more spoilage up here than what we regularly see. The last couple loads did go in a little drier than we like it, and that might be the problem. So we've got about 4 inches of rot on top of this silo. So once we dig down, we're in the good corn right there. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna climb up to the top of the silo. Well, I'm almost to the top. I just gotta climb up to the top of those 6 doors. I gotta undo the chain off of the tripod, and then Nate is gonna let this silo loader down. We're gonna get this down to about 1 foot above the feed. Then he's gonna come up in here. We're gonna take the distributor panel off, set that over on the side of the unloader. We're going to take the blower neck, set that up, and then he'll go back down. He'll start this up, and we'll run a fair amount out. I'll stay up in here for a little bit, make sure everything is working correctly. And then we'll have to run this until we get into good corn. Run this out in a pile and load it onto the spreader. So I need to climb up there, undo that chain, send a rope down, let him let this unloader down, and then finish the rest of what we have going on here. I'm gonna call you. Hey Siri, call Nate. All right, so that winch in the silo room will detent into the down position, but I'm pretty sure I have the breaker off outside. So you can make sure it's locked in detent and then use the breaker, and then when we'll stay right on the phone here, and then when I let you know, just shut the breaker off, and then run inside, take it out of detent, go back into neutral with it, and then we'll go from there. So I'm gonna lower the silo motor cord now. I'm gonna move some doors to the top, and I'll pull that pail up. So I'll pull the pail up first thing so that you can set it up through the hole in the door there. So, alright. You can go, yeah, you can turn your winch on now. And then I'm climbing down the saddle chute now. I'll go ahead and pull that pail up. And then I'll put my doors in. Alright, okay, you got the pail in the thing. And then when it's caught. Alright, so I'm going to pull. Actually, I'll leave that end of the rope up here. I was going to say that you'd have to remove that rope. So, get it around my feet here. Drop the slack down. There we go. Bring it up my lunch pail. Just sprinkling. Oh, no kidding. Yeah, right? That's always how it goes when you're up in the saddle. Alright, so I'm going to move my doors. Come on, baby. Yes, sir. Damn thing's getting caught on the side of the silo. I got a bird's nest. I got a bird's nest I gotta get after here. I can't get that. Killed it. Here. They were scaring me a little bit. Worried about them getting me tackled. Attack birds. Ah. Oh, that's nice. Ah. Sorry, right here. Crap. Wrench in my pocket or nothing. I lost that son of a bitch. There we go. That worked the magic. John knife. Okay, hold up a minute. We gotta climb down. I think we're there. Okay, yeah, shut it off. Shut it off and then go inside and raise it up some. We went down a little too far. So, yeah, I got hung up screwing around with this door and we went down a little too far. How's the wind on the winch down there? Okay, just make sure it's in one spot. You've got to reverse your up switch and raise it up. It should detent in up. Okay. Alright. Yeah, go back up with it some. That's pretty good right there. Alright. Shut the breaker off. Go in and turn your winch back to neutral. And then you can come up. I just need a hand putting this frickin' blower pipe on. So, okay. Alright, I'll see you. Okay, so we have the unloader lowered down to where it needs to be. I got my main man up in here now. He's going to help me put the blower pipe on. You can do it alone, but it's not as handy. And he was feeling really bad about me going up in here anyways. He wanted to come up in here and set the cover down himself, but I gotta run the camera, right, Nate? So we're gonna pull this distributor off. That panel just collects the corn from when it comes inside the silo. Comes down off that deflector spout, hits the spinner, spinner spins it to the outside. The unloader runs in a slow revolution around the silo, spits the corn to the outside, so on and so forth. So we've got a piece of plastic covering up our main blower motor. We're gonna pull that off. We're gonna get our blower pipe untied, unchained. We're gonna check our gearbox oils. We did fill them prior to pulling the unloader to the top, but we just wanna kinda check that out a little bit. Now, I had one silo ring. I have a problem with it. I probably need to get up on the top of the silo somewhere and find out where the bolt piece is at. It comes down a little low and it gets caught into that top door, the door frame coming in. Usually if I pry something underneath the rod, the ring rather, and the top of the door, I can get it to go. So I just barely was able to get that to come in. We need to have 2 doors removed for the blower to throw the corn out the silo. So I've got 1 door over there. I'll put that in, boom, and then we'll put our spout on there that the corn is gonna get blown out into the silo chute from. Now that spout is for our clean chute, but Nate forgot to order me a clean chute, and we're gonna have to run without until I end up taking a door out. So no, Nate did not forget. I forgot, right, Nathan? I forgot. Okay, so let's get this wrapped up here. And then when we join back up with you, hopefully this unloader's running and it's throwing rotten stuff out down the chute. Out and down the chute. Throw that wrench. You got both wrenches in the pail? All right. Well, we have this all set and ready to run. I've got to put a door in up top, store a door in to shoot up top. I've got to chain up this gooseneck. I'm going to wait for Nate to get climbed down. He's going to get things situated on the ground. And then I'm going to get this all ready to go so it could be run. Then he's going to run this. We're going to stay up in here, make sure everything works okay on it, make sure a belt doesn't get thrown off or anything. Now, when we pull the unloader to the top, there's a breaker panel on here, control panel. That's on this one side here, and there's two breakers in there. There's a breaker in there for the ring drive motor, which is right underneath that cover. And there's a breaker in there for the blower motor itself, that larger, it's actually a 10 horse motor on there. When you fill the silo, you turn that blower motor off and you just let the ring drive motor run, and that allows the unloader to slowly spin around the outside of the silo, and that spinner there spins the corn or whatever you're filling the silo with, spins it to the outside. So we better get things situated so when Nate gets down on the ground, he can just turn this on and we can watch it run for a little bit. So yeah. Well, we are now all ready to roll here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to call down to Nate, have him fire up the auger. He does need to raise this unloader a little bit, and then we will have him turn this on. Hey Siri, call Nate. All right, get your auger running. And then run this right from the inside of the silo room. They're in the commodity bay there. Can you hear me? Yeah, my earphone must have died. Okay. So run this right from inside the commodity shed. Get your auger running. Raise the unloader a little bit. You got your winch back on. I can hear make sure the winch is in neutral, and then turn your breaker on from outside. Yeah, but put it in neutral from inside the commodity shed. Okay, now turn the winch breaker back on so that you can run everything from the silo room and then, or the commodity shed. And then make sure that breaker is on for the silo loader, and you can turn that on anytime you're ready. You got the door on the chute shut tight and locked. All right, so make sure your breaker is on for the silo, and then hit that start switch. Now I think you'll be all right. We'll see how it runs. The green one turns it on. All right, we are running pretty good. They had some crap in the blower, but it's running. We'll let it run one revolution, and then we'll have to lower it a little bit. We'll have to let it run one revolution, and then we can lower it a little bit. We want to make sure the feed in the silo is on the same plane that the unloader is on. It should be. It looks like it's as light can let it down a little bit. Just bump 1, 2, 3 and then let off. Yeah. Looks like our door height is about right where it needs to be. We would have had to put a door in if it was any, if the speed was any higher. The wheels on the unloader are just about going to hit our clean spout, our clean chute. Yeah, they're just missing. Alright, you can go down again, go 1, 2. The side loader has an auger on it, and it augers the feed to the center. That hits the blower, and then out she goes. Any faster than that. That auger doesn't like too much more than what this unloader did. The auger does not like the amount of corn that this unloader could actually put out. But it's getting pretty dusty up in here. Yeah. Dry crap on top of this silo here. This camera off, and this will give you guys an idea of how this runs. It's almost all the way around. Looks like we're eating up some pigeon feathers there. Okay, so I am going to climb down and we'll run this some more here.